Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For today, we are going to learn something. But I have a question first. Are you ready to learn something new for today? Well, if you are, just stay tuned in this video. We are going to discuss now what is a subject-verb agreement. What is it? How can it help us in our everyday life? So in this video, we will learn subject and verb agreement. Subject and verb must agree with one another in number. Okay? Either it's singular or plural. So subject and verb must agree with one another. If the subject is singular, the verb must also be singular. And if the subject is plural, the verb must also be plural. Okay? So, take a look at my example. The dog chases the cat. The dogs chase the cat. In the first example, dog here is a singular. We are only talking about one dog. So, therefore, the verb must be also singular. So, in order to make the verb singular, we should add S to the verb. And here, in the second sentence, the dogs chase the cat. Dogs is plural. There is two or more dogs chasing the cat. Okay? We are talking about two or more dogs here because dog here is a plural form. So therefore, its verb must also be plural. And to form its verb, we should less or take its S and add it to the dog, okay, to make it a plural form. So in present tenses, noun and verbs form plurals in opposite ways. Nouns, we can add S to singular form, and verbs, we can remove an S from the singular form. So that's what we are going to do. Here, we add S to the verb to make it singular, okay? In the second sentence, we take or we leave the S, okay, to make it a plural form verb. So, this is the basic rules in subject-verb agreement. Rule number 1. A singular subject always goes with a singular verb. So just like what I said you earlier, a singular verb must always goes with a singular subject. Okay? We can use is, was, and s form of the verb. So these are the verbs that you can use if you have a singular subject. Okay? Is, and was, and also the base form of the verb, and it's s. Okay? Base form with its S form. So, for example, he teaches us football in this quarter. Teacher Julie is our English teacher. He is a singular subject. He. So, we should have a singular verb. Teaches. Okay? Teaches. This verb has an S form. Right? Teaches. Next, Teacher Julie is our English teacher. Teacher Julie is a singular subject. Therefore, we should have a singular verb, which is. Okay? I use is for a singular subject, Teacher Julie. Next, we have the rule number 2. A plural subject always takes a plural verb. Are, were, and base form. So a plural verb must be are and were, and also the base form of the verb or the root word. For example, my classmates love PE time. My seatmates are the members of my team. So classmates and seatmates are plural subject. Therefore, we should have a plural verb. Here, in the first sentence, the plural verb is love. Base form of the verb, love. It is the root word. Next, seatmate is the plural subject. Now, we should have a plural verb. So, our verb here is are. Okay? So, are is a plural form of is. So, again, a plural subject must always have a plural verb. Okay? So, we also have a rule in inverted sentences. The first rule is natural order. So, when we say it's natural order, subject must be followed by verb. Okay? Subject and verb must be collaborated with each other. Subject must be followed by verb. Again, I repeat. Next, examples. The obstacle course is at the park. My running buddies are here. Okay? So, the subject here is obstacle course. And its verb is. Okay? So, obstacle course is followed by the verb is. Obstacle course here is a singular subject. Therefore, we should have a singular verb, is. Next, in the second example, we have running buddies. So, running buddies is the plural subject. Therefore, we should have a plural verb, which is are. So, again, for natural order, the subject must be followed by the verb. Next, the second is inverted order. So, when you say inverted order, baliktad. They are being reciprocated. So, verb followed by the subject. Okay? Verb is followed by the subject. For example, at the park is the obstacle course. Here are my running buddies. So, is or verb is in front before the subject. Okay? The obstacle course. So, this is a singular subject and our verb is also a singular verb. Okay? Next, here are my running buddies. Running buddies is a plural subject. Therefore, we should have a plural verb, which is are. Okay? Again, when we say inverted order, the verb is followed by the subject. Unlike the natural order, the subject is being followed by the verb. Now, the verb is in front of the subject. Okay? Next, we have most interrogative sentences or questions are also in inverted order. So, the questions that you saw in your test paper or the questions that you make is also an example of inverted order. So, for example, where is my PE uniform? What are the stretching exercises in PE? So, you are asking a question here. These examples are all asking a question. So, as you can see, the verb is being in its first place before the subject. Verb is and are is in front, followed by the subject. Therefore, it is an inverted order. Okay? So, the subject is PE uniform and stretching exercises. Our verb is and are. Okay? They are in front before the subject. That's why this is called an inverted order. Next, we have rules in inverting phrases. So, when you say rules in inverting phrases, in every sentences, you must be able to identify the simple subject and the subject always agrees with the verb, even when it is a part of a prepositional phrase. Okay? So, rule in inverting phrases. We have here, one key in building muscles is eating protein. Eating protein-rich food. Next, the muscles in our body grow bigger if we exercise daily. So, in our example, the subject and the verb is being, I have a prepositional phrase in between, okay? The subject is one and the verb is. And we have here an inverted or an prepositional phrase inside the two. They are being separated by a prepositional phrase. So when I say prepositional phrase, these are the prepositions or all the prepositions. For example, in, on, at, and, under, below. Okay? So when you say prepositional phrase, this is prepositions and the word that it follows is called a prepositional phrase. For example, into the storm, under the table. That is an example of a prepositional phrase. So the verb does not agree with the subject of preposition. So here, one key in building muscles is eating protein-rich food. Okay, one is the subject and it is a singular subject. Therefore, we should have a singular verb which is. The muscles in our body grow bigger if we exercise daily. So muscles talks about two or more than one. Okay, so therefore this muscles is a plural subject and we should have a plural verb. Okay, so we have here a base form of the verb which is grow. Again, they are separated by the prepositional phrase. Okay, next we have rules in irregular nouns. So here is it. Plural noun forms that are singular in meaning use a singular verb. So plural noun forms that are singular in meaning use a singular verb. They just look like a plural noun, but their meaning is singular. So we must use a singular verb, okay? They just look like. It's just a it's some tricky thing, okay? They just look like a plural noun, but their meaning is singular. So we should use a singular verb also. For example, gymnastics is a sport that requires great flexibility. Mumps is contagious. Gymnastics and mumps are plural noun look like. Okay, they just look like a plural noun, but their meaning is still singular. So therefore, we should have a singular verb. So I'll give you another example. Mathematics is my favorite subject. Okay, mathematics is my favorite subject. So the subject there is mathematics. That is a singular. Okay, not all noun or subject that has s is a plural noun. Okay, just take a look at that. So mathematics is a singular subject. Therefore, we should add or we should use a singular verb. So I use is, okay, to make it agree with each other. Next, the news spreads rapidly. News spreads rapidly. So the news, it is a plural noun forms that are singular in meaning. Okay, again, news just look like a plural. Okay, so we should use a singular verb because it is still a singular subject. Okay, next we have here what do we have here? Next, plural noun forms that are plural in meaning use a plural verb. So again, this is a plural noun which has a plural meaning. So therefore, we should use a plural verb. For example, jogging pants are essential in PE classes. Light clothes are good for exercising. Pants and clothes are plural noun and has plural meaning. Okay? So therefore, we should use a plural verb to make it agree with each other. So I'll give you another example. Scissors are on the table. Scissors are one example of a plural noun that has a plural that is plural in meaning. So we should use a plural verb. Scissors are on the table. Next, the pliers were given to people. The pliers were given to people. So my subject is a plural subject and I used a plural verb which is were. Okay. Next, we have here rules for collective nouns. So rules for collective nouns. Collective nouns can take a singular or plural verb depending on the meaning of the sentence. So they can take a singular or plural verb. We can use any of that depending on the meaning in the sentence. So for example, the family enjoys jogging. Okay? Next, the Obispo family prefer different kinds of exercises. So here in family, the first sentence, family is singular. Okay? Family is singular subject. Therefore, we should have a singular verb. So verb and its S form. So we add S to its base form. Next, Obispo family prefer different kinds of exercises. So Obispo family is an example of plural subject. Therefore, we should have a plural verb. So I use prefer because this is a root word and base form of the verb. So that's why I use it, because in subject or plural verb, we should use a base form for its verb. Okay? So I'll give you another example. The team are cooperating well for the contest. The team are cooperating well for the contest. So the subject there is team. Okay? Plural subject team. And I use a plural verb are. Okay? I singular verb are. It's plural. Okay. Next, we have here, the class takes its first examination this year. The subject there is class. Okay, collective nouns, class. So, its verb is takes. Okay, so the subject is singular subject. That's why we use base form of the verb, which is takes. We add its base form an S, okay, to make it agree with each other. So, I hope you understand our lesson for today, and thank you for listening. Okay, so we should remind that it's better to end our day learning something. Okay, keep that in mind.